This is claimed to be the largest hydraulic crane in the world. The machine is the Mantsinen 300, and it's in a smaller scale of 1:87. If we look at the underneath of the model, we see it's made by Tema toys, and Tema toys is a WSI brand that's focused on 1:87 promotional models. Out of the box we have the usual pair of expanded polystyrene trays, and they're factory sealed. Lifting off the lid we can start to see the model, and it's covered with some protective paper. And as befits a giant machine in real life, a giant hand crane gets out the model. Included in the box are a couple of parts, and that is tools to fit to the end of the stick. And to make the connection there's also a bag of nuts and bolts. The only other thing to do is to remove some packaging which protects the elevating cab mechanism. There's not a lot to do to get the model ready. All we need to do is to choose and fit one of the tools. And it's so easy, even the engineers at Cranes etc. can do it. You line it all up, you stick the bolt through, and you stick a nut on the end. And you just need to make sure that the nut is not the person doing the assembly. This is the tracked version of the machine, and the track frames are reasonably detailed given the scale, but one compromise is that the tracks themselves are made of a rubber type material. The graphics on the support leg are sharp. On one side of the machine there's an access stairway, and that includes a gate, and it's all modelled in soft plastic. Moving up, the support frame across the legs is nicely detailed with plenty of pipes in the casting, and above it you can see the slewing ring. There's also a full platform modelled at this level, and it's in plastic. In contrast, the cab is made of metal and is nicely detailed for the scale, and that includes having two banks of work lights. The parallelogram mechanism is metal, and the connection rivets are on the large side. The body of the machine is all metal, and there's some nice panel detailing in the casting, and at the back the large counterweight has got a very nice graphic. The hydraulic rams that control the boom are all fairly simple, and there are no hydraulic hoses. The boom and the stick are impressive large parts, but they are all made of plastic to keep the weight down. But the colour match is excellent, as are the graphics. The thin tie bars are made of metal. Two tools are included with the model, and they're entirely made of plastic. We'll start by taking a look at the crawler tracks, and you can try to roll them by hand, but being soft flexible rubber they don't really want to roll completely. So they only move a certain distance, and you can't push the whole crane along. The articulated cab mechanism works well enough. It achieves a good range of movement, and the hydraulic rams are stiff enough to hold any pose that you want to set. Next we can rotate the model by hand, and once it's started moving then it's very smooth. So you can position the model in any direction. A feature of this machine is the big reach that it has, and that works well on the model because you can bring the boom and stick right in, or you can achieve a very large radius. Because the boom and stick are plastic, there's no problem with the stability of the model, and you can achieve some good poses, including with the grab reaching down into a ship's hold. Moving on to the orange peel grab, and it swings from side to side nicely, and you can open up the individual grab tines, although they rely on friction to stay in place, and that was a little bit variable on the review model. If you feel like a change from the orange peel grab, you can go to the clamshell grab. And that's an easy swap to do just by undoing the nut and bolt and swapping the tool over and reattaching the bolt and the nut. The clamshell grab doesn't have any functionality though, because it's just a simple plastic moulding. This 1:87 scale model is of a big machine, so let's get the tape out and do a dim check. And at the highest it's about 15.5 inches or 40 centimetres. It is good to see a model of this huge Mantsinen machine. It has some nice details together with some compromises because of the scale, and the functionality of the crane itself is very good. As a Tema Toys model, it's more aimed at the promotional market, and it's a nice looking model that's rated as good.